this place locked down. Nobody comes in, nobody goes out.
It's a little kid.
Oh, yeah. Didn't see that, did ya?
Kick-Ass was released in 2010 and it stars Aaron Taylor Johnson, who plays Dave Lazuski, an unnoticed teen in high school who ends up becoming the world's first real superhero outside the comic books. And when crime-fighting antics go viral, he lands in the crosshairs of a mob boss. So, Kick-Ass 2010, Steven, your initial thoughts of this film?
This was what I believe, my first actual viewing of the movie. I've seen this. I've seen the second one. I've seen clips of it. I've never seen the first one until now, and I gotta say it's very unconventional.
Unconventional?
Yeah, it doesn't sit on the level of like something like Iron Man. It's nothing like Batman, Dark Knight and stuff like that. I think this is like perfect on its own, but there's points in the movie where it's a real, don't get me wrong, it's a real dark comedy, and I kind of like dark comedy, but there's some points in the movie where it just doesn't hit. It doesn't hit me as much as I thought it would.
Yeah, and I might be saying this because I'm a little biased because I saw the film when I was younger, but it was one of those movies back in the day where I would just like pick out random movies on the shelves of Blockbuster, and I brought it home for me and my brothers to see, and I think my mom was in the room at the time too, and I was like, at first I didn't really like it as much because I'm paying attention to this superhero who's getting his ass whooped, and I'm like, man, why does this dude keep getting his ass kicked? But then growing up, I understood the premise more and more, so I've grown to love it, and I actually think it's one of my favorite comic book films outside of like the Raimi trilogy and movies like Guardians and stuff like that. But I think this movie's so much fun, and
dude, it's super exciting, and the character development too, along with the excitement of the movie, really builds it. It's great.
yeah. I also another thing too, like I also missed when comic book films were more fun like this.
Yeah,
and it was like it was all creating in like its own individual world instead of building onto the constant sequel.
Yeah,
this could stand alone as its own movie perfectly. And I really love the direction style that Matthew Vaughn goes with, because the movie, like, you could pause any frame in the film and it looks like a comic book, a graphic novel. Like the composition and everything, it looks great. Every frame, like, is popping with color and style, and it looks pretty dope. Like the colors and everything is great.
Oh, dude, everything about it. Well, I wouldn't say everything, because after all, there are some things in this movie that, and we'll get to that later on. But there are things that I really I like and I don't like about this movie. But yeah, the composition, the coloring, the lighting, everything about the movie, it's pretty much perfect.
Yeah, the dialogue felt natural. It felt natural, more real.
Well.
And I know you won't agree with this part, but I actually thought the humor worked well for the most part. But there was times where I was like, did that work? Did it not? But like, it was kind of like throwaway.
So what I think is one of the main issues with the comedy itself is, it's dark comedy, and I get it. They're really pushing towards that. But there's points in the movie where it's super serious.
Yeah,
especially
it gets
with
dark real
Nicolas
quick.
Cage's character too. He's a real hardworking father, but he's throwing quips and stuff out there like it's a Guardians movie sometimes.
Oh yeah, especially when he's interacting with Kick-Ass. Yeah.
But other than the misses here and there from the dark comedy, it's a pretty solid film.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like the dialogue, like especially like when the characters are interacting, like you can really see them connect in certain scenes and stuff like that. And I feel like the film as a whole has a lot of heart to it.
Oh, it really does. And like I said, Nicolas Cage is playing a father who's trying to get his daughter ready for the real world, or whatever world they live in.
Oh yeah,
this is a world with superheroes with no powers. After all, they're a bunch of Batmans without money.
And I thought the tone was balanced very well.
Oh
in the
yes,
directing.
yes.
And like whether it was funny or ridiculous, and even when it was romantic, like even like when he was pretending to be gay. Like, I mean, if you want to pretend to be gay to get closer to a girl that you like, I mean, it worked for him. So
well, you don't want to go too far with it.
yeah. And yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, you go.
Yeah, like I love the concept alone of the film and the comics, like because he's just a kid out there in the real world, and he didn't have no superpowers or no tragic backstory. He's just a regular kid,
and it's not like he's Batman. He's not this super overpowered human. He's not like at peak human condition because he does get beat up in the movie.
Yeah, he's just
a lot.
He's just he's a kid with this suicide of an idea to become the world's first superhero, and in reality hits him hard. And it all started with a cat. He was looking for that cat.
Yeah.
He falls, and then he trips over those guys. Well, before that, that's when he was trying to be a hero with those car thieves.
Yeah. Oh,
and then he got stabbed. I remember laughing, but then being like, wait, he's our main hero. Like, what's gonna happen to him? But he ended up surviving that.
I like that he's not super overpowered either.
Oh.
And the leading to that is the action in the movie is the choreography.
Oh
Dude,
yeah,
it's perfect.
especially
It's really good.
especially in Hit Girl scenes. Hit
Yes,
Girl really
dude.
steals the show. Like she really does.
Yeah.
And this is her movie just as much as Kick Ass, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Which could suffer a little bit, but I think they balanced it pretty well, in my opinion.
Think so?
Yeah. What'd you think about that?
Let me see. I think the characters are they're built really well. You know, they all have their own quirks. Like Vince Plaza's character. He's what I heard from what is it? Like background sources and stuff is he was supposed to be the main character, like the legit main character of the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and with this is they love like his acting, his performance, and everything. The director and who's the writer? I forgot his name. He did the comic book also. I don't remember his name. But yeah, they like the character so much that they decided to give him more of a character development storyline instead of being like the main antagonist of the movie.
Yeah.
I really like. I like that decision. That's a good decision too.
Yeah.
Because the character alone, he's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I can see why some people may think like, why wouldn't we want to root for someone who just gets his ass kicked and stuff like that?
All the time.
But I mean, that's the thing about it. Like, that's kind of the point. Like, he's just a regular
He's a
kid.
human, yeah.
He's a curious teenager who's trying to do good for the world. But then, but like going back to that car thief scene, that was a realistic scenario with a realistic approach and like what would actually happen if someone did that. So, yeah, but like also the villain, Mark Strong, plays the villain. I felt, in my opinion, was a little underutilized. And for the most
He plays
part,
the dad, right?
yeah, D'Amico. Yeah, but you could tell he had so much fun in the role. Like,
You can tell everybody, and the behind the scenes videos and stuff that you can watch, everyone's like happy. You can tell everyone's excited.
Oh yeah, they all had.
Because it's just one of those movies, man.
Even when he's introduced and they're in that warehouse and they
Yeah.
chop that dude's finger off, and then after that he's like talking about what icy flavor he's gonna have. Like, I thought that was hilarious. But
that too, it builds on their characters. These people live in their own specific world.
oh yeah,
This
the world building is really good in
Yeah.
this movie.
This isn't like what we live. These people are superheroes in their own way. Obviously, they don't have superpowers. They're not like super overpowered. This is their movie, and
Yeah.
I think they play it really well. I think they did a really good job with the direction,
For sure.
especially what character's gonna do what. Is this character gonna be Is he gonna get beat up? And then you're wondering, should I root for him? Should I not? I really like the villain, dude. I hope the villain, man. I hope he wins at the end.
Yeah.
Or Vince Plaza's character. Oh man, dude, he's quirky. He's funny. Again, the dark humor it hits sometimes, but I think his character hit. I think he has the best humor in the movie.
The son, right?
Yeah, the son.
And you almost feel bad for him at the end of the movie.
He
too,
really
because
did.
like he just wanted to be like his
He
dad.
loses. He loses a lot.
He
really
loses
does.
a lot. But just him trying to just impress his dad, really.
He's trying to be the son his dad never had. And ironically, this movie reminds me of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2.
It did. It felt like
It did, right?
It felt like Spider-Man 2002 mixed with Superbad and maybe little sprinkles of Kill Bill in there. Just I'm giving that for Hit Girl because Hit Girl is such a badass in this movie. But also Nicolas Cage.
Dude, Nicolas Cage is awesome.
Does a really good
And
job.
I love how they're not trying to hide the fact that he's Batman.
Yeah.
He's rich. He has all the gadgets and everything. The suit too. His costume is literally Batman. And I don't know, it's great, man. This movie it's really good.
Even their backstory, where they're like introducing like a comic book style kind of way.
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty cool sequence alone. So even when they're introduced, like I wouldn't call it child abuse because I mean Mindy loves this shit. Like the girl loves it, but I mean Nicolas Cage's character goes like beyond infinity in this movie. Even
Dude,
like
he's something else. He's got some mental problems.
whenever like when Kick-Ass and Red Mist team up, and they go to that warehouse.
They're destroying everybody.
Red
Or at
Mist
least
finds
she
that
is.
teddy bear and like shows his dad the footage, and it's just Nicolas Cage, Big Daddy being a badass, fucking them all up. Dude, it was sick. Even the music in that scene is just so crazy.
The music in the movie alone the soundtrack is pretty good. It's pretty decent actually.
It kind of tells a story almost, really. And then like
none of the music seems out of place.
no,
It feels like it's like each song or each piece, whatever's in it, fits perfectly with whatever scene it's in. Especially the action scenes.
oh yeah.
The music really elevates the action, and I really love it.
Yeah, this movie really resonated with me with like the way I watched it for the first time, because I remember watching it for the first time, and especially one of those standout scenes that reminded me of the first time I viewed it was that scene where Kick-Ass goes to Katie's ex's place, Russell, and the line that had me dying, and it still had me dying when I watched the movie again, is when Rasul's like, "What are you gonna do about it?" or some shit like that, and Kick-Ass goes, "Or I'll come back and break your fucking legs." I was like, bro, he has some balls saying that, dude, in front of everybody. And then he whips out his taser, little whack ass taser.
Oh man.
And then, and then that's when Hit Girl is introduced too, and like she fucks these dudes up, and like
Dude, she's a badass.
with the spear and that little knife blade that her dad bought her for her birthday, chopping these dudes' legs off, and even I didn't mind you could tell like some of the blood was CGI, but I didn't mind it. It looked kind of. Oh, it bothered you? It was
one thing that bothered me, and this is another thing I have that I don't totally agree with the movie, but I understand why they did it.
Yeah.
Is the amount of like gore itself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it doesn't take away from the fight scenes. It honestly it adds to it, but it's a little disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with gore,
Yeah.
obviously. There's a lot of movies where, like the opening scene of Saving Private Ryan. I don't know if you've seen it, the D-Day invasion.
Yeah, the D-Day scene. Yeah.
Like that right there, like it utilizes gore really well. This movie,
Yeah, I see what you mean.
This movie it's good.
Maybe for like in this movie is a little bit more for shock value, maybe.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
Because I think Kill Bill utilized it really well, especially with the blood and everything. But this one's just I don't know. It's a little over the top, too over the top when they use it. But I can see why they have it.
I think the scene that made me like a fan of Kick-Ass was the scene where he helps that guy getting jumped by all those dudes, and he's even like everybody's recording him inside that restaurant, kind of like frustrating him a little bit, like he'll call the police, but he's not backing down to these dudes who are armed with knives and stuff.
And he's getting his ass.
And he's getting his ass kicked, but like he's just doing it because he's trying to be a hero that the city needs, and like it gave me goosebumps while he was saying, while the dialogue was hitting and the music was hitting, and then those dudes run off, and like he feels like the hero he's trying to be, And that's when that one guy comes out and asks him, "Who are you?" And he says, "I'm Kick-Ass." And then that transitions to him like evolving. And I thought that was a pretty powerful scene in the movie.
Dude, this movie is
no choreography, no crazy choreography in that scene or nothing. Just a kid not willing to back down.
Oh
From
yeah,
these crazy people.
He's like a young Captain America.
Oh yeah, like,
not backing down, willing to fight
and
anybody.
Skinny.
Yeah, he really is. Yeah,
small, skinny.
And seeing him now, the actor Aaron Taylor Johnson, is that his name?
Aaron Taylor Johnson, like he's evolved so much.
Yeah.
Dude's about to be Craven the Hunter.
Craven the Hunter.
And he's.
Are you excited for that movie?
You know what? The thing about that movie is that I thought it was when I saw the first 10 seconds of that trailer, and it was like, oh my god, this is gonna be the next Morbius. Like the blood going into, but like even that, like the trailer looked solid. It ended up being
It looks
really
decent.
solid. It looks decent, and then it's rated R. That's what I wanted to see in Let There Be Carnage.
Well, that's what a character like that's supposed to be.
yeah.
And a movie like this, like Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
What is it rated? It's not rated R, is it?
It's rated R.
It is, right?
For blood and
Obviously,
violence and
yeah.
gore. Yeah, like
dude. But yeah, man, no, the movie, I think it utilizes from music to action, all of that combined together, the sound effects, the sound design, and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, the score tends to swell up in certain scenes, and like
It builds
hooks
the
you.
action.
It really hooks you into the story, and even with the pop music that plays, it fits perfectly in the scene, and all the characters, they just seem to blend together like well, like even in the story itself.
Oh heck yeah! The writing between the characters, the dialogue between characters, it's not bad.
Yeah,
it
you
really isn't.
You didn't even know no scenes with slow exposition or anything like that.
I think it's on par. It's on line with movies like The Shining,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
where the where the characters themselves they have a really good dynamic. Like in the I'm trying to I got a tongue twisted for a second. But yeah, dude, the dialogue between characters, it's solid. It's really solid. And it's really good.
Oh yeah.
It's quirky. There's a lot of quirky moments where it's a lot of funny. There's also a lot of serious. That's what I noticed that too. There's a lot of moments in the movie that's like, it's real serious.
Yeah, a big part of
It's
that.
really down to earth.
Yeah, like going to that, a big chunk of that, what you just said, really revolves around the characters of both Hit Girl and Big Daddy. Like their connection.
They have a really good.
They have a really good bond, and then that's when it becomes like you can feel the emotional connection with those two.
You really can.
And then once that one scene happens, whenever Red Mist betrays them and Kick-Ass and Big Daddy were kidnapped and they're going that intense scene. I thought it was good, really good. One of the best scenes in the movie. And then
and it leads to obviously
his death,
eventual death, which honestly I don't mind.
It also impacted Hit Girl's
Hit Girl,
character
yeah.
a lot.
And that's one reason I don't mind his death, because it helps build her character even more.
Yeah.
She has a strong character going up to his death, and when she finds out and it hits hard, I think that adds like a level of like realism. Like how I said earlier, down to earth, where the tonal of the movie really changes, and her attitude throughout the movie really changes too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And like when she comes in that scene, like the dude's about to light them on fire, and then he just gets shot in the head, the lights go out, and then we see a POV of the night vision. So sick.
And you really think I really thought she was they're gonna save him.
Oh, you did? You thought so?
Yeah.
And I also thought it was a dope visual with the blinking flashlight that she
Yes.
leaves. And then she comes in slow-mo, shooting those other dudes in the head.
Dude.
And then even so, while this is all happening, her dad's still teaching her. Like, he's throwing out mentoring tips and stuff like that.
Dude, it's super cool. Dude, that scene alone is freaking awesome.
Even the music in the scene, like, man, the music really swells up.
It builds everything up.
It's really good. And, like, yeah, that scene alone was, like, impactful to even her in the second movie going forward. Like, they didn't really need to set up anything, but they set up her character so well already in the first film.
Everything's placed specifically to motivate each character, especially Hit Girl. I think Hit Girl has the best motivations in the movie.
Oh, for sure.
Beside, well, I don't know, Kick-Ass, his motivations they're understandable, but Hit Girl's motivations are clear cut as day. Her dad's dead. She loses a lot. She really does.
Yeah. Even like the atmosphere before her dad's death, like he could tell he didn't
It was
give a fuck.
over.
Yeah,
It was
that
over.
it was over. Like he didn't give a fuck. But
Because at the end, I think going into that, he has faith in his daughter,
yeah.
but at the same time, he realizes that she's a kid. That
And she'll learn on her own
Yeah.
too.
she's learned a lot. Don't get me wrong. You know, the scene I really like is the bulletproof vest scene.
Oh, when they're introduced, right? Yeah. That's fun. And then it transitions to the bowling alley.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good transition.
It's a really good and going with that and Hit Girl and her dad.
Yeah.
It's a really good dynamic. It shows their dynamic.
Their scenes are really good together. Nicolas Cage and Chloe Moretz. What was her name? Like Chloe Grace Moretz.
Is that? I hate these
Yeah.
three name.
Yeah, but
Three-
they I thought they nailed their characters perfectly. Even when she's like 12 years old, 11, she was like 11 at the time. She did really good. And then that, of course, leads to the final battle. Kick-Ass doesn't really have much of a choice. Like,
No,
to
he
help
doesn't.
her. Like, he owes her this. Like,
Yeah.
she saved him. And so...
He has a debt to her that he's trying to fulfill.
Yeah.
Especially throughout you can tell throughout the movie too.
And then I love how she's continuing the plan that her and her dad decided to do, and she pulls up to the hotel and like, she has a little girl, and so badass. The guy's like, he's like, you can tell like something's wrong, and then the camera turns and like the gun's in his mouth, and then she starts fucking everyone up, and then she goes up in that bookshelf.
Dude, the hallways. Dude,
So badass, so sick.
that's probably my favorite scene of the whole movie. I think I have it down here too.
The music, dude. Like even when they're coming down and it's building up and the shots are like going 1, 2, 3, and then it pushes in on her face. She makes a lot of funny faces in this movie.
And you know what? I was very surprised that she's a young actress in this movie, and it's played so well. Usually, I have a problem with kid actors. There obviously there's times where I think kid actors are pretty good in film, but this one I think it's like
S tier, A tier.
it's S tier.
S tier, yeah.
The acting alone throughout the whole movie's S tier.
Right. You could tell it was really like the directing was really handled well between the director and the actors. Like they were really communicating.
I think, especially behind the scenes. I don't know if you've seen any behind the scenes things. But
Yeah.
The writing, everything was like well-oiled machine. As much as I don't like the gore and violence, I don't mind it, but I think it was a perfect choice for this movie.
Of course.
And that stands for the director. Like the choices he made, along with I'm trying to remember the writer's name. I have it over here, but he did what was it? What other comic did he do? I'm trying to remember.
Lord Miller. Are you talking about Lord Miller?
Yes.
Lord Miller. Yeah. Why does this sound so familiar? Did he do Spider-Man comics?
No.
He didn't do no Spider-Man comics.
No. But yeah, dude, the everything about it, besides like some small pieces of the movie, it's well made. I really appreciate it too.
Yeah, and like even going back to that, of course, like one of the like plot holes I found was like how Kick-Ass learned to do that jetpack and those machines so fast. Like even when she gave him the signal on the camera, I'm like, I don't even think he had enough time to test fly this thing. But I mean, I guess he's gonna. But I mean, that's just a small thing. I mean, it is what it is. But like, meanwhile, she's over there in the cabinets.
It's just fucking destroying everybody.
The dude is shooting a machine gun and then gets knifed. It was to the point where that huge goon had to go get the fucking bazooka.
I'm getting the bazooka. Bazooka?
Bazooka?
Or they use it on what is it? His dad.
Yeah, his dad.
His dad.
Yeah. And
What did you think about the ending?
I was happy with the way it ended.
I was actually satisfied with it.
Like that like this. I think this is like one of the very few times where you see the secondary hero, Hit Girl, go against the main villain.
Oh yeah.
And then, but I mean, I think D'Amico would have fucked Kick-Ass up.
Think so.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, because he's not a trained.
I mean, unless he
at
has
this
his
point,
jetpack and shit on. But
at this point, he's a trained fighter, but he's not like Hit Girl.
yeah,
He's not at the level of Hit Girl, at least.
it was getting pretty brutal between them two. Like
Yes,
Hit Girl and
dude.
like he was getting all bloody. She was smashing stuff in his face. Then he slams her on a table. I'm like, damn. How much does this 11-year-old weigh to break the whole table? But damn, Kick-Ass comes in with the bazooka and then explodes him, and then they fly off. And I thought the CGI looked really good there.
Oh yeah.
When they're flying off, like that, and the music too, of course.
Oh, dude, the music. I love the ending, dude.
Yeah.
What song was it? I'm trying to remember what it was. Dang. But I love the fact that they decided to blow the villain up.
Yeah.
Dude, when was the last time, besides like a movie monster, you saw a human being get blown up in a movie like that?
Right? I was trying to think about it. I'm like, wait, I don't know.
I don't know. Jason got pretty fucked up when the FBI came up and fucking.
And Jason Goes to Hell?
Yeah. Oh, that's the first time you hear him talk, dude. Dude, so the ending was, I love the ending, obviously.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they blew the villain up. You don't see that shit no more, dude. You don't see it.
Yeah.
And dude, 5 stars.
5 stars?
What do you got? No, you.
Oh, I was like 5 stars.
That's not the thing, dude.
5 stars. Damn. 4, but that's me being biased. I really love this
All right,
movie.
no bias. You've seen it before, obviously. Just put you in the shoes of somebody who's never seen it. You have no idea what the hell a superhero movie is. What do you give it? Your first superhero movie ever?
I think I'm stick with 4.
It was stick with 4.
3.5 is the
I was
lowest.
about to
It's
go
the low-
3.5.
It's the lowest I'd go. But I love this movie. I really love this movie. Like, it's one of my favorites, like, outside of the Spider-Man movies. Because this was a time, like, this was like a superhero that was just fun to watch when I was a kid, but also, like, now, like, it still holds up.
Well,
and
this is an unknown, or not an unknown.
it's an
This is
underrated film.
a low tier superhero.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
true.
In like an A tier superhero movie.
Yeah, you're right about that. But I think it's just so much fun, and it's like an interesting group of characters, and I would love to see them come back again, even after Kick-Ass 2. Like, for Kick-Ass 3, I would be front row and center seeing Kick-Ass 3 if they ever come out with it. But yeah, I really love this movie. I love the franchise, and I think I'm gonna stick with 4.
I'm going 3.5.
3.5.
I'll be nice in 3.6.
One of my favorite lines in this movie was when he says, "Come on, be honest with yourself." At one point in our lives, we've always wanted to be a superhero.
Yeah.
And that's the line I think of when I'm about to put this movie on. So
That's what you think of. That's like the definitive line for this movie. Like if you ever heard it in like nature or whatever, streets. This is the first movie you think of when you hear that?
yeah,
I'll take it, dude.
I'll take it. But don't think I would stand on that statement because I don't want to get shot out there if I ever do become a superhero. But like, but when I think of this movie, yeah, dude. But Kick-Ass 2010.
It was a
I love it.
it was a destructive, really open-minded movie. You know, it doesn't leave too much to be. It doesn't leave like a lot on the table
Yeah.
where you wonder what's happening next, and it leads perfectly because I have seen the second one,
Mhm.
and I think it perfectly flows through the second movie.
I agree with that. I would agree with that too, despite how much people are divisive over that one.
And you know what? The first movie wasn't like that. The first one was actually, it wasn't like The Thing or anything.
No.
This movie was like from day one till now, huge fan base. Everybody loved it.
Yeah, like I mean, it's underrated, but it has its like followers. Even at the time, it was hyped when it first came out. It was hyped up, and then like over time, it just like its fans just stuck with it. But not much, not in like the mainstream realm. Nobody really talks about it. But this film is something special.
It has a fan base, a loyal fan base at that.
Yeah.
Oh heck yeah, dude! And I think in 10 years, 20 years, somebody watches this movie, a young kid. I think they're gonna like it.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies where it stands the test of
It
time.
resonates with you.
Yeah.
It resonates with a certain audience that watches it. So
I think it's because it's grounded. I think it's because it's really grounded in reality, or at least their reality as close to ours, that you can resonate with the characters.
Oh, yeah.
You can put yourself in the characters. How many times have you ever wanted to be like a superhero?
All my life.
All your life, right? So that's it, man. That's the. This was my first. I did only watch it once, to be honest, so I didn't have too many talking points on it.
Yeah, I've seen it so many times. I love this film. So yeah.
Yeah, dude. But man, that was kick ass.
Kick ass.
Love it.
Gotta love it.
Gotta love it, man.
Should we say outro? Like, comment, subscribe, like, and shit like that.
Yeah. If you like, dude, I love it. I love doing this. I love the YouTube live, man. It's live, man.
It's fun. We're
I go to work. I feel when it's time to come and film, dude, it's awesome. And I really hope everybody else likes it.
It's nice seeing like more like just seeing a couple of views makes my day.
Yeah.
Like knowing people that watch our videos, like it's crazy. Like comment,
subscribe.
Let us know down in the comments what movies y'all want to see us review next.
I saw The Room in the comments.
Oh, we gotta review that one.
We gotta review The Room, but we have a huge. I'm super excited to talk about October.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. October's gonna be a huge month for us because we love horror.
We love horror movies.
And so what I wanted to do is we can go through the history of horror movies.
Oh yeah.
We can start from an early horror movie, build up good or bad, whether we like it or not. We can just build up till the final week of October and do a very special movie. Something awesome. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Let us know how you think about that.